from Widgemy this year. Just making sure this gets going. So I need my videos, not YouTube Studio. I just want my videos. View your channel. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. So, week 2 here. Hopefully, I can get somebody to watch me. I know Bluff is on with like 8 million people on his, which makes sense. He is the top doggy in the gambling world as far as gambling channels go, as far as I can tell. So what is going on, everybody? So right here, as you guys can see, we can see my my sports betting site. That's the plan here, right? That's what we're doing this year. We're showing everyone the full everything, right? No, nothing hidden, nothing. Because I honestly, the reason I'm doing this, I get so tired of people telling me that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't. How'd they put it? It wasn't. I can't think of what I'm trying to say here. Transparent enough. And anyone that knows me know that's BS, but I still don't. I didn't like it. So week 1 was interesting, right? We had a couple close calls on our bets. Like we missed by 1 point, and in the Dallas game, they had 41 points in the first half, and we didn't get the over. Like that was brutal. Just and then Pittsburgh needed a half a point or a point, whatever, a point to tie. Denver tied the spread. Vegas is good at what they do. We'll just say that. Say they're good at what they do. All right, so for some transparency, I don't know what I would have actually ended up at. I know we started with 900 the other day. There was actually 1,000 on there, but I had made a bet for someone on a boxing match, and that was the idea there. So I'm just going to show you what is all in my my betting. All right, I don't. I guess the betting account here. So these are bets I've already made. I got a bet on the Padres today. I got a bet on some Padres players. Tomorrow on the college football, I got a bet, 2 bets. And then that was a bet I lost earlier today. This is a profit boost bet. This is a crazy parlay I put in for $10. If I hit it, I win 3,800. And then for my partner in this, these are a lot of his bets, right? These are bets he put in, he wanted put in, these 2 picks. But what I'm getting at is if you look at all the cost of all these, I'm up, right? I have more than $1,000 or right at it or whatever, as you can see. So I want to show you something else because I know you, as far as week 1 went, the bets that I posted on here obviously didn't do that well. And this is something I want to show you guys that it's hard, well, on a Wednesday to give you guys like perfect information. And I'm not opposed to it. I made all the bets. You guys saw me make all the bets that were involved. The thing is, for example, on Sunday night, I'm just going to go to these settled bets, all right? We're going to go to Sunday night. The Sunday night bets, where are they at? Let's find those. As you guys can see, there's a lot of green ones. That's every time you see them little green things, that means I won a bet. There's some Monday night bets, did pretty well. All right, let's get to these Sunday night bets. All right, we're getting somewhere. Them are still all Bears bets. If the Bears would have won the game, I'd have won a ton of money. All right, so here's the bill. So I was making these bets live. If you can see, these wager amounts are small, 690, 784, and that's just because those were like I had 947.84. So I'd put a 784, and this says total points by Bills in the fourth quarter over 10 and a half. And I find these that are good value right here. Okay, Bills and Ravens money line. I bet the Bills money line late in the game at plus 310 because the momentum had shifted. So I made all these bets live. This was the next touchdown score plus 600. Josh Allen, he ran a touchdown in for me. And as you can see how many of these bets I won live. I crushed that Sunday night game. All these add up, right? All these little $10 bets, they add up when you're winning them like this. And so this is something that I can't do for you guys live because I can't film it while I do it. It's something that I have. This is the part of this that you got to learn on your own, right? You got to get good at this on your own to do this stuff. To make those live bets like that. I can post them sometimes, but when I'm betting on what's going to happen in the next drive, I can't get that posted quick enough for you to get in and make the bet. And so that's just something I wanted to point out. Not that I don't want to, I can't manufacture it. Now, if you join my Discord, I can get you some of that information there. To join my Discord, all you have to do is send me an email at wagermethis@gmail.com. It's free. Join in, hang out with us, make some sports bets. And I post these on there too. But those guys get a lot more of my stuff. So I just wanted to show you guys that all those bets, and I'm going to show you my balance right now. Now, mind you, I have all them bets in, right? So these are all my open bets. And this is just $25, $10, 25, 25, 10, 10, 25, 25, 25, 10, or 100, and then a $5 bet I made on a future. So if you add all that up together, plus my balance right here is at 765, I'm actually ahead. And that's something I wanted to show you guys also, that this is more than just being able to show you a good bet to make. There's more to this than that. As the game's going on, I change things, I do different things. So that's why on Wednesdays this is hard to do, but I'm still going to try to give you the best information I can. All right, so let's go to the Thursday night game, Washington versus Green Bay. This is a pretty good game. Pretty good game. Two teams that are considered probably playoff contenders, maybe fringe Super Bowl contenders right here. The spread here is likely spread, right? 3.5 or 3.5 to the home team. Makes a lot of sense. All right, but what I like in this game, when I went back and looked at the usage of players in their previous games, Deebo Samuel got used a ton. Jaden Daniels obviously ran the ball 11 times for 68 yards. But Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt also got 10 carries. So for Washington, and on the Green Bay side, they spread their, what is going on here? Why player offense? That's where I want to go. Okay, they spread their receptions out. No guy had more than 3 receptions, so it's going to be really hard to bet Green Bay offensive props. The only one that got a lot of looks was Jacobs at 19 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. But none of their wide receivers in Green Bay had more than 3 receptions. Whereas the opposite with Deebo and Washington, they used him a bunch. And McLaurin only had a couple targets and stuff. So I think they're leaning more to a running attack with Ja'Cory and Jaden Daniels, and then Deebo Samuel being their receiver, which is kind of surprising. So what I'm looking at here is I like Jaden Daniels for a rushing touchdown. I don't think really that Washington can be competitive in this game without Daniels having a lot of rushing and a rushing touchdown. Plus you're getting it plus 170. I love that. So that's my first bet, the first bet on Thursday. I like this one. We're gonna go $50. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do $25. What the heck? Why is this not acting right? Okay, come on, Jacob, get this right. 25, because I'm gonna make a handful of bets on this, and essentially I'm bust them into half units. All right. So there we go. First one, Jaden Daniels touchdown. Good payout. Look, $67 for a $25 bet. Good payout. All right, let's close that out. So the next one I like is the Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt touchdown. And this one has really good value at 225. And the reason I like this, guys, is because I expect these guys to get the ball in the red zone. This is who I think will get the ball. And so this is kind of two bets that are one bet, right? I expect at least one of these guys, Daniels or this running back, Krosky Merritt, to score a touchdown in this game. And look, this is an $81 payout for $25 bet. Good value, super good value. And the likelihood that one of them gets a score is super high, right? If you're going to choose the touchdowns in the game that are going to get scored, the likelihood that Daniels or this guy score is super high. All right, so that's where I'm at with that one. I'm not going to bet their yardage because I'm a little worried that they don't actually get a ton of yards, but they do get the red zone looks. As far as the Green Bay side, the only bet that I really liked was Jordan Love's passing at 229. Here, I actually, when I looked at it, it was 227, so that means people are betting it. So I like that, but what I think is a better play is to come here to 250 plus and bet it at 148. I actually think there's going to be some scoring in this game, and I think Love is going to have to throw the ball some. So this is what I like, 250 plus at 148. This is, in my opinion, based on value, a much better bet than just the 227 or 229. This is just basically one or two passes more, probably just one pass more, one completion more. And I don't think the Washington Commanders have a very good pass defense. So I actually think that this is a spot where you could ladder Jordan Love and go 275 and 300 if it was offered, and probably get a lot of value there. But as far as the game goes, those are my favorite bets for that game. The 2 touchdown props and then that passing yards prop. If I'm picking a side or a total, the only one that I really liked was the first half Washington over. So let's look at that. Let's go. Come on, stupid thing. Team props. No, periods. Is it in periods? Where did I see that? First half. There it is. First half Washington over 10.5 at plus 112. I like that bet. I don't know that I like it good enough to bet it, but if you're looking for something that isn't a prop for a player, sorry guys, that isn't a prop for a player, I like that one. You're looking for 2 field goals and a touchdown in the half. You know, even 4 field goals gets there. Like the likelihood that Washington is going to be able to move the ball in Green Bay is really high, and the reason being is simple. It's hard to stop Jaden Daniels, right? He's difficult to stop, and that's kind of the idea there. Just because I'm talking about it, I'll actually play the bet because I'll probably end up playing it anyway. So might as well put it out there, right? Might as well let her loose. It's a pretty good payout. I like plus money bets, guys. To me, when you make plus money bets, you only have to win half of them. You only have to be 50% to be profitable. So if you make all plus money bets, you only have to win half of them to be in the profit, which is a good thing. Being in the profit is a very good thing. All right. Now, let's move on to Sunday. All right, so let's talk about Sundays. Sunday slate. Let's go find it here. All right, there's a ton of interesting games. All right, so let's start with the Bills Jets. Right here, Bills Jets. Guys, what we saw from the Jets was that they were able to move the ball on Pittsburgh. But I'm going to give y'all a little story on Pittsburgh. For the last couple of years, Pittsburgh has not been able to stop the run. Just not at all. Just very, very shaky against the run. They just don't get it done. And we saw that against the Jets. They ran the ball all over them. Well, the Bills also don't stop the run. We saw that. They couldn't stop Derrick Henry or Lamar. So I like the over in this game. I think this goes over 46. I think the Buffalo is going to score on the Jets at will. But I also think the Jets are going to be able to run the ball and score on Buffalo. So I think the over 46 is kind of a gimme. It's kind of a spot where it's just not enough points because I think you're going to get 30 of them from Buffalo. And so as long as you're getting 17 from the Jets, which I think is very reasonable with the Bills' lack of run defense, and this is in New York. I mean, they're both New York teams, but this is Jets, New Jersey. I like this over. I think over 46 is a good play. All right. But I think there's better plays. All right, Chicago and the Bears, right? Chicago and the Bears, Detroit and the Bears. Guys, I think the Bears getting 6 is too much. I think this is the return of Ben Johnson. He's going to understand their offense better than they will. I think he's going to have the Bears defense ready for it. I actually think the Bears probably win this game. I think the Lions start 0-2, and the +6 is very, very nice in this spot. I think this is a bad spot for the Lions because I think we saw against Green Bay just how much they missed Ben Johnson, just how much he meant to that offense, and now you got the Bears coming in, which he coaches, which he's going to be able to show, and you're getting 6 points. I like that one. Ravens and Browns. Basically, I hate everything about this game. If I was going to bet this, I'd take the 11.5. You don't know what you're going to get from the Browns and the Ravens. You never know either, right? They had a huge lead, should have won, and gave up, that big lead in the fourth quarter. So I'm not really a fan of that game at all. Jacksonville and Cincy. This is another one where I just think the point total is going to get over. I don't think either defense is very good. Cincinnati struggled against the Browns, but the Browns' defense is probably better than people think. They'll be able to move the ball on Jaguars, and they'll be able to score some points. I don't really like much about it. I'm not going to have no bets on that game, but if I was going to make a bet, I would probably take Cincinnati's team totaled over, and I'm not even sure what it is, but it's probably like 24.5 or 26.5 or something like that. But I think they'll get probably to 30. It's just not a good play in that game. Maybe if you're betting, Joe Burrow's passing yards or something. All right, so I like this one a lot. Rams on the road to face the Titans. The defense for the Rams is too much. It's going to be Cam Ward has terrible because he had to start against Denver's defense. They were able to manage a couple field goals, and now he gets to go against the Rams defense. Even though it's at home, it's just not a good spot. The Rams defense is going to terrorize him. It's actually went down a little, so some people have been betting the Titans, which is interesting to me. Home team getting points makes sense there. But I just think the Rams defense is too much for a rookie here. It's just a bad spot for Ward again. He's got to turn the ball over against them. They have a good pass rush. Their offense of the Rams is going to come together more. I just don't see how the Titans stay in that one. So I like the Rams in that one. I actually have a bet on that for later, a different segment we're going to get to. All right. Patriots, Dolphins, I like 0 about this game. I have no idea what either team really is. I expect the Patriots to play a lot of low-scoring games. That's one thing. But who knows what the Dolphins are. I'm not even going to mess with that until I figure that out. Nothing to do with the Dolphins. Cowboys and the Giants. The Giants going on the road to Dallas. Dallas probably should have beat Philadelphia the other day. If CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop 15 footballs, Dallas probably wins that game. This is in Dallas. The Giants, they're not going to go there and beat the Cowboys. Russell Wilson's going to have a few picks in this game. The Giants just don't have it together, and they're not good enough as a whole. Their defense is going to be pretty solid, but I don't see a problem laying 5.5 with Dallas. But they're more of a teaser play to me, and I know it's not traditional, but it's more of a teaser spot. You just want Dallas to have to win, and you don't want to have to pay 250 to get it. So that's where I'm at on that one. I like Dallas. I'm actually going to have something on that later. Now, this is my favorite play of Sunday right here. The Seahawks and Steelers. We saw the resurgence of an Aaron Rodgers versus the Jets. Now, is the Jets defense good? It's probably better than Aaron Rodgers made them look, but I wouldn't say they're good. But I like this over here. I think Seattle is going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can't stop the run. So I talked about that earlier, but if you look back, they just can't. For the last couple of years, they just don't stop the run. Seattle's going to run the ball. This is going to go over 40. I don't have any issue with this going over 40. This is one of my favorite plays of the week, if not my favorite play of the week, for this one to go over 40. So that's what we're doing there. Why is that not clicking? There we go. That's probably one of my favorite plays of the week. Again, that play is based on solely that Pittsburgh just doesn't stop the run. And I expect Pittsburgh to score on Seattle. I expect Aaron Rodgers to be able to move the ball, get into the 20s. So Seattle will just have to get close to the 20s. And with Pittsburgh not being able to stop the run, I expect Pittsburgh to play a lot of high-scoring games this year. And I actually think they're going to be pretty good with Rodgers leading the way as long as they can keep him upright. All right. The next one, San Francisco versus the Saints. This one's interesting because we're probably going to see Mac Jones for San Francisco. Now, versus the Saints, does that matter? Is San Francisco's defense going to be good enough to just hold up here? I think so. I think San Francisco gets this done. I actually think they get it. I don't think the Saints score very many points in San Francisco. So Saints team total under, but it's going to be really low. So maybe it's not that good if it's just a 40.5 total. How much is Mac Jones going to produce? I don't know. This is a money line play. This isn't an ATS play. If you're going to take anything here, the 49ers are good on a money line, in my opinion. They're not going to be real valuable. Laying 3.5 might be too much on the road for a backup quarterback. I just don't think. Hold on, I'll get back to it, Marco. Just give me a minute. I'll get back to it. I'll swing back for you. I'm just, if you're going to take them, they're a money line play, in my opinion. If you're going to take the line, the Saints are the play. They're probably a pretty good play teased to 9.5. I know a lot of people don't like doing non-traditional teasers, but if you're taking 3.5 to 9.5, it's not a terrible play. All right, Arizona versus the Panthers. Now, in this one, this was going to be my favorite ATS play because I just don't think that Carolina can go on the road and win. Now, the problem with that is can the Cardinals cover 7 again? Can they cover twice in a row? That's tricky because I do like the Cardinals this year. I'm a fan of the Cardinals this year, and I think they're going to do good things. But can they cover twice in a row, which is different? That's a different thing. So I'm going to just back off that one. I did have it written down as my favorite ATS play, but I'm going to let it go. I just think the 6.5 is too much, but I do think Arizona wins this game. I don't think the Panthers are going to go winless, but they're not going to win on the road either. But does this game stay close? Is this 21-17 maybe, So, again, if I'm playing this, I'm playing the money line for Arizona somehow, or maybe an Arizona James Conner prop or something like that. The Broncos versus the Colts. This is an interesting one because were the Colts good or Was Miami terrible? I think it was more Miami's terrible. So I actually think you're getting a ton of value here on the Broncos. Just you don't even got to lay the 1.5. You could just take the money line here on the road. The Colts are facing Denver's defense. Danny Dimes going against Denver's really stout defense. And Denver's not going to have to score very many points to win this game again, like they did last week. They didn't have to score very many. So that 1.5 is actually probably my favorite ATS play now. But the money line, you don't have to lay anything in case something crazy happens. So, anyways, I think that's a really great play. Philadelphia and Kansas City. So here we go. This game is a rematch Super Bowl last year. Here's the problem with Kansas City. Kansas City looked terrible on defense, but the offense wasn't bad. Even after missing Worthy, Mahomes had a pretty good game. I know they lost, but Herbert had probably the best game of his life in that game. If you go look back at that game, Herbert was just on fire. And now, did he shred the defense of Kansas City, or did Kansas City have a bad scheme? I don't really know. It's kind of remains to be seen there. Now, the Eagles, on the other hand, they didn't play very well against Dallas. It wasn't great. They got the win, but they got the win mostly because Dallas gave it to them by CeeDee Lamb dropping numerous passes that were right in his mitts. I mean, right in his mitts. So that both of those are kind of hard to judge. Kansas City has having receiver problems again, getting hurt. To me, if you're playing this one, you're teasing Kansas City over 7.5. That's about the only play here is to tease them up. Other than that, I don't really see any way to play that game. All right, Minnesota and Atlanta. So this is the great J.J. McCarthy that everyone loves, but everyone forgets that for 3 quarters he was atrocious. But all over the media today, how great he was, how Caleb Williams folded. If you watch the game, that's really not what happened. McCarthy had some miracle plays kind of in the fourth quarter, not even the second half. He threw a pick six in the second half. In the first half, he couldn't even get his guys lined up and stuff. It was awful. It was an awful first game that he somehow came up with a win. Now, they had a blocked punt. They had a bunch of good kick returns. I mean, for that to happen. Now, did Caleb fold down the end down the stretch? He did a little bit. He missed some wide open guys. But I just think that the hype for JJ here after this one game, kind of a miracle win, is too high. Way too high. Now, the problem with the Falcons is I'm not high on the Falcons either. I don't know that Michael Penix can go on the road and win against that Minnesota defense. So I'm not betting this one. If I was gonna play it, I would probably look toward a Justin Jefferson touchdown prop. Other than that, I'm not messing with this game. I just don't see a reason to get involved there. Now, I know it is the Sunday night game, so eventually I will be involved because I always do. But just from the first glance at it doesn't have a lot of value, in my opinion, just to get out there and mess with that game. Now, like I said, Sunday night coming up, I'll definitely be involved, but not directly, not right now. I need more information on it, and I don't have it on Wednesday. Oh, Lord, here we go. Discord. But next one. So there's 2 Monday night games, so this is really interesting. I love the Buccaneers. They're my upset pick. I don't know how the Buccaneers are underdogs to the Texans. Now, if you look at the 2.5, are they really underdogs? I don't know. But I think Tampa Bay wins this game outright. You can get the 2.5. You can tease it up to 8.5. It's a great teaser play. I just don't know. I just don't think the Houston Texans are a very good football team. I think that they had their one year that kind of splash, and then from here on out, I just don't think they're a very solid football team. So Tampa Bay in a teaser is really nice. Tampa Bay, if in my opinion, if you're going to take the 2.5, you might as well just play the money line and get the plus money there, and that's what I like. But this is on Monday night, so I don't have to be in no hurry to bet it. But I'll definitely have a bet on Tampa Bay. And then Chargers versus Raiders. This is interesting. This is one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL that doesn't get a lot of talk about it, but these two teams are a huge rivalry. The fan bases have a huge rivalry. I don't, from what we saw in week one, I don't think the Raiders can win this game, but they might. It is a rivalry. They are getting 3.5. They could easily keep this a 3-point game. The Chargers could have a big letdown after the big win. The Chargers are coming back from Rio de Janeiro, or not, or wherever they were at. They're in South America either way. It was in Brazil. So there's some things there, some trendy type stuff that says the Chargers might struggle here. Again, on Monday night, this is still a ways away. We can figure it out then. 2 games on Monday night's always nice, as from a betting standpoint, because you have a lot of teaser options and different things, ways to make money. But just from first glance, I don't see the Raiders winning that game. But we'll see about Sunday night, Monday, see what happens, see where we're at. All right, so let's talk about some of the bets we've made. We did make the hold on, let me get these open. We did make the Denver bet, Seahawks over bet, right? Did we make the Denver bet? No, we did not. My bad. Thought we made the Denver bet. Anyways, I guess we didn't. But well, we made the Commanders bet. That's right. So we made okay. So on Thursday night for Mr. Marco, what I got for you is I like the Washington Commanders over 10.5 in the first half only. First half only over 10.5. I like Jordan Love over 250 passing yards. I like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt to score a touchdown. And I like Jaden Daniels to score a touchdown. Guys, again, that's my Thursday plays, Marco. All plus money plays. I like that. I only got to win. If I win 2 out of the 3, I win money. Or 2 out of the 4, I win money. But really, if I get Ja'Cory Krosky in the end zone, I do pretty good, right? I almost win all my money back, in one shot there. As far as a side there, I would take the points, I guess, but I wouldn't like it. All right. And I have a bazillion other bets on the weekend already from my partner. But that's kind of where we're at on this one. If there's any other questions, please ask them right now. I'll try to keep my thing from going to whatever you call it. What am I trying to say here? Where it logs out. But this teaser. I want to talk about the teaser. So this is a teaser I'm going to play, guys. All right. I like, where's it at? The Rams. Hold on, go down. The Dallas. And then the over on Seattle Pittsburgh. But if you don't want to play that as a teaser, then I would use the Bills and Jets. That's right. But we're going to tease this one. All right, click teaser, 6-point teaser. We're going to go down to where the teaser money is. So that'll trick you guys. You'll be putting in a parlay. A lot of sites are like that. You don't want to put in the parlay. You want to put in the teaser if you're trying to tease it. Go our little $25 bet. Here we go. It's going to win $67. 3-pick. I like where we're at. We just got to have the Rams and Cowboys win. And then the Pittsburgh game to go over 36. Like, this is a nice, solid little play. You're getting 171 there. Plus 171. All plus money, baby. We want to be plus money. You only got to win half of them. So keep that in mind, guys. That's a strategy in sports betting. If you bet all plus money bets, you only have to win half. So think about that as you're doing this. Let's look at what we bet and just see where we got to be. All right? That's not what we were trying to do. We want to do this button. All right, open bets. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we go 3 and 3, we'll still win. We only have to go 50% on those bets I put in for you guys. If we go 3 and 3, we win. It's that simple. Now, is Jaden Daniels and Krosky Merritt going to score a touchdown? Probably one of them. I mean, there's a good chance that one of them gets in the end zone, right? Is Jordan Love going to throw for 250 against that Washington D? Probably. I mean, they're not great. And if that game stays close, or maybe Green Bay even gets behind dealing with Jane Daniels, maybe they got to throw. And Green Bay, they do throw some. They just spread the ball out. It's hard to pick a receiver for them because they spread it out so much. Now, the Washington Commanders over 10.5 in the first half. This one is my least favorite of the group, but it's still good. This is our only not plus money bet, I guess. I did have one in there. But this is my favorite bet of the week, the Steelers and Seahawks over 40. And like I said, the reason is simple, is that I don't think the Steelers can stop the run. They haven't shown it in a couple of years, and they didn't show it last week. They got ran all over. Aaron Rodgers bailed them out with 4 touchdown passes. But over 40, that's just too low. I expect the Steelers to get into the 20s, even against the Seahawks. The Seahawks are on the road. So I expect them, they're going to run the ball on the Steelers. They're going to see what everyone else sees on film. They have a pretty good running game. They're going to run the ball on Steelers. I actually think Seahawks have a really good chance of winning this game. And yeah, I like the Steelers a lot. I'm almost on them almost every year because Tomlin doesn't, he doesn't ever go less than 500. So it's easy to bet that every year until it fails. And then up there, I just think the Rams and Cowboys, they're just significantly better than their competition. And you're getting them at just to win. And then over 34, same reason for the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I just don't see I don't see Pittsburgh stopping the run. I don't see them changing it in 1 week here to something that's been going on like 3 years. So that's the expectation I have for this. I think I think these are out of these 6. I would be surprised if we don't go 4-2 or better. I really like these, especially compared to last week's bets. I actually like these a lot better. These are much more. First of all, they fit the plus money strategy. And also, I just think they're more likely. Week 1, you're somewhat guessing. You're kind of trying to speculate. Week 2, at least you've got to see, some teams play a little bit. At least you got to see what number ones are going to look like out there together a little bit. And I think Washington has kind of proven who they are. I don't know how much we can get off that Green Bay game against Detroit because Detroit's offense was so bad without Ben Johnson that I'm not sure what we can gather off that game. But I do think we can see Washington as who they are. They always kind of struggle against the Giants. They did last year a couple times. But Jaden Daniels and Krosky Merritt still got theirs. They still got their stuff. And Debo looked really good. I don't know that Debo has 2 good games in a row. That's waits to be seen. Again, he's kind of an injury case. And he's getting older. I don't know. I think Debo had a great coming out party, but I'm still not sold yet. He's going to have to sell me a little more than he did. But again, guys, thank you for watching. If I don't have any more questions, you guys got my whole synopsis here, my whole rundown, where I'm at on this stuff. And Thursday night's tomorrow night, so let's win some money. Let's get a good roll, good going. And that's the great thing about these bets here is if you get a couple of these Thursday ones, you're going to have money for Sunday, right? You're going to be able to, kind of free roll Sunday. And that's always fun. Like free rolling is always good, right? And so just so you guys saw, I just want you guys to see there's still 615 in the account here. And like I said, all of my open bets, if you counted it all up, 25, that's 100, 150, 175, 210, 260, 270, 80, 29, hold on, 3, 4, I'm up like $50 on the week last week if you counted all what I have bets out. So just so you guys know, I am profitable. It just you guys didn't get to see it. Well, you did get to see it, but you didn't get to you didn't get to be a part of it because it was mostly live betting or betting on Sundays and Thursdays and Fridays and what I do again, I just make one video a week. I'll possibly be making some Saturday videos, but it's hard to do it just one video a week. That's why you should get on my Discord. Wagermethis@gmail.com. I'll send you a link to my Discord. That's where you get my daily plays, my stuff that I do as it's going on, right? Like this bet right here. I have the Padres to win the game. And then I have some Padres players to do some stuff in a parlay just because it was a good value. But I paid $25 on the game and $10 on this little parlay. Obviously, it's not doing what I want because unless it just so happened to line up where Machado got the RBI for Luis Ariz, but I doubt that's what happened. But the Padres are winning 1-0, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go watch this game and see if I win. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. You have a great day. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.